All right, let's talk about one question that you're going to hear every time you interview, which is why do you want to do this role? Why do you want to do sales? Why do you want to do marketing? Why do you want to do customer success? Whatever role you're applying for, they're going to ask you, why do you want to do this role? So, how do we answer this question when we get asked it? So, one thing is, it's important to understand what is the hiring team looking for when they ask you this question. So, they're looking for a couple of things. They want to know, one, will you be good at this job, right? Do you have the knowledge and experience to kind of back up what you're saying here in this role. Two is, do you actually want to be here, right? Are you actually excited in this role? Are you interested in it? Do you have some passion for it? And then three is, will you stay here long term with the company, right? Are you kind of dedicated, loyal to the company and to this role and seeing it through? So if you haven't already watched our videos on knowledge and experience and interest, go ahead and watch those. It's going to give you more insight into what the hiring team is looking for here. Now, before we get into some examples of how to answer this question, and before we actually break down kind of a formula for answering this question, there's a couple things that you should know. So it's going to be helpful for you to know these about the job that you're applying for. One is, what is the main objective of this role? What is your actual main day-to-day objective for this role, right? If you're in sales, it's to close more customers and bring in revenue. If you're in finance, it's to manage the accounting process. If you're in marketing, it's to generate top of funnel leads for the company. Whatever that role is, what is the main objective? Two is, what are the day-to-day tasks that help you achieve that objective? So if it's in sales and you need to bring in more customers, you're going to have to go out there and find customers. You're going to have to talk to them. You're going to have to get them excited about what you're selling and then close the deal. So there's normally 3 or 4 tasks that break down any role. Go ahead and try to familiarize yourself with what those tasks are. 3 is, what skills do you possess today that are translatable to the role? So when you know the main objective and you know the day-to-day tasks to achieve that main objective, then you can think about what skills do you have today that can help you do well in this job. And then number 4 here is that, what are your career aspirations? Where do you want to go in this role? What do you want to do long term in this job? So if you can answer these 4 questions with confidence, and you can write out your answers and you feel like you understand these well, you're going to be able to formulate a much better response to, why do you want to do this job? Why do you want to do sales? The second thing that you should do before you actually start even thinking about how to answer this question is get to know yourself a little bit more, right? Think about, what are you looking for in a career, right? Do you want to make more money? Are you looking for a team environment? Are you looking for growth, autonomy, flexibility? What do you want in a job? The second piece of this is, how did you learn about the job? This is kind of like what I'll call your origin story. We'll come back to this a lot here. How did you learn about this job, right? Did you learn about it online, right? Google, YouTube, Reddit. Did you learn about it through some friends, family that have done this job? School, previous job maybe. How did you learn about it? It's going to be helpful here in a second. Number 3 is, why are you going to be great in this role? So this kind of goes back to what we just talked about. If you know the main objective of the role, you know the day-to-day tasks, now you can think about, hey, what do I possess internally? My traits, my experience, my interest that will allow me to be great at this job. And then why you're excited, right? Is it the earning potential, the team environment, the growth, the learning? What's really getting you excited about this role, where it's going to take you in your career long term, whatever it is, what excites you. So, if you can answer these questions about the job and you can answer these questions about yourself, it's going to help you really put together a really solid answer for why do you want to do this job. So once we have some fundamental knowledge on the role, some fundamental knowledge on ourselves, then we can go about answering this question. And the way that I like to answer this question is really thinking about what I would call kind of like the origin story answer here. So it starts out with, what are you looking for an ideal career? So I was searching for a career that did X, Y, and Z, or has X, Y, and Z. When I learned about this job that I'm applying for now from online, from my friends, from my family, from wherever, I got really excited. The more I learned about it, the more excited I got because of X, Y, and Z. Again, tying it back to what you're looking for in a career. And then talk about their future, where you're heading. What I'm really looking forward to is, growing, being part of a team, evolving into a leader down the road, whatever it is. So starts with what you're looking for, starts with how you found this job, middle part is the excitement about the role, what you hope to do, and then long term, where do you want to go? So that's kind of the origin story outline here. And what we're going to do now is kind of break this down, and we'll run through a couple answers. The first one here is, a answer of someone who maybe just graduated or just getting started in their career. And then the second one here is someone with a bit more experience that might be transitioning into a new role. So I'll run through these here. Again, like all the answers that we want to give in the interview process, we want to keep these short and sweet. 60 to 90 seconds. Keep them flowing. Don't spend too long on these. All right, so my first answer might sound something like this. Look, since graduating, I've been looking for a career with a team atmosphere, somewhere where I'll be surrounded by hungry, motivated, intelligent people, where I can grow as both an individual and as a leader and a business person. I told one of my friends, Allison, just that, what I was looking for. And then she mentioned I look into this role. She had recently taken a job in this role for a tech company, and she really just opened my eyes to this entire world that I didn't quite know existed before. The more she told me about it, the more excited I got. The more I read online, the more I researched, the more excited I got. It really seems like a place where the sky's the limit. I'll be able to grow day to day. I think that I possess the traits that allow me to be really successful in this career, and help me really just learn the ins and outs of the business world from the ground up, so that I can grow as a leader myself. So a little bit light, I think, if I had to be honest, in this answer on maybe some of the traits I possess or some of the skills that I possess that's going to make me good at this job. But I think I nail really kind of like the origin story here, and nail what I'm looking for in a career path or what I'm looking for in this job. And I want to obviously relate all this to the job I'm looking for, right? I don't want to describe some perfect role that I'm not interviewing for. I want to describe the role that I'm interviewing for. So an example answer here, we can talk about, maybe this is someone who has a bit more experience, right? So had a bit of experience working in retail in the past couple of years. It's been an amazing experience. I learned so much about how to interact with people, how to face rejection, how to keep pushing forward day after day. And what I'm really looking for now is a career path where I can grow long term within an organization, really establish myself. And I'd love to be somewhere where I can be surrounded by smart, dedicated people where I feel like I'm growing every day. I was talking to my cousin about what I was looking for, and he suggested I take a look at this role. He thought it would fit my personality and the experiences I already have. So I actually, to dive into it, I enrolled in an online training course for this role, to learn more about the day-to-day, to actually get familiar with how to execute and work towards the main objective of this role. And the more I learn, the more excited I get. Every day I dig into this more and more, and I just love how when you're working towards the objective of this role, it feels really fulfilling, and I just can't wait to get started. So in this answer, I probably did a better job talking about maybe some of the skills, the traits that I possess that's going to make me good for this role, talk about what I'm doing to get up to speed in this job, how I'm kind of preparing ahead of time for it. Obviously, I would kind of plug in, I wouldn't just say like the daily objectives or daily activities. I'd plug in what this role, what you're actually doing in this role on a daily basis to show them that, I have the knowledge, the skills, the experiences that are going to make me a good fit for this job. So I think if I was, crafting this, I'd probably take, example answer 2 and example answer 1 here, combine them with a nice little story, talking about the traits, the knowledge, the experiences, the desire or passion I have for this job.